morning and welcome to AJ's Allotment. Obviously you know me, I'm Amanda. So what I'm going to show you today is how to make these paper plant pots using this tool here. Forgive the cardboard box, I've had to raise the platform so you can see what I'm doing. I'm using my mobile phone for shooting and I can't get it set up to be right. Either my head's chopped off or you can't see what I'm using, so hopefully this will work. So what am I talking about? Paper plant pots. So newspaper plant pots, or if you can't get hold of newspaper, you can use the paper you'd use for wrapping your crockery up if you was moving. So if anyone's moved house recently, or you're planning on doing it yourself and you've got some spare sheets left over, these will work exactly the same way. They'll still decompose in the same way and hold enough support to do that. So this is the tool. I ordered off Amazon, came quite promptly. It was, I pay $7.99. Prices vary depending on where you get them from. This is one that's got two sizes, so you can have very small pots or you can have larger ones. You can get one with a bigger one, so then you can make even bigger pots. That's a little bit more expensive. Loads of companies are doing them at the minute, giftware. Obviously it's coming up Mother's Day and then Father's Day, so nice little gift for someone if you know they enjoy gardening and things like that. So what are the benefits of using paper seedling pots? Well, obviously it's the impact on the environment. We don't want plastic all the time, and they break and they blow away in the wind, and we throw them at the back of the shed. So with these it's brilliant. You plant your seeds in there, you know, the roots grow into them, and then you put it in the ground and it'll decompose naturally around the plant as it's growing. So that's brilliant, because there are some plants that really hate to have the roots disturbed, and it can also set them back with their growing. So this is, again, it's beneficial in terms of that and the permaculture approach to actually growing our own fruit and vegetables and things. So what you're going to need is you'll need your handy tool, you'll need newspaper, like so, a pair of scissors, obviously, a measuring tape or a ruler, whichever, and a pen just to mark. When you buy it, it comes with a sheet and it tells you what sizes everything needs to be at. So for this smaller one, it's got, can you see, it's got guidelines for where it needs to be. So that's for your smaller pots. So it needs to be 7 centimetres down the width, and it needs to be 40 centimetres along the length. And it's really simple. You just use the guide measures to pop your pot on. Now there needs to be, I think I've done this one a bit small, there needs to be a 3 centimetre overhang. So if you put that just between those two lines, that should be about right. Now the reason you need that 3 centimetres there is because when you've finished you need to push the sides in to create a bottom. So you simply just roll it round, not too tight, otherwise you won't get the tool back out again. So you simply roll it round like this, and then we push in to make the bottom, and this is where the other part of your tool comes in. If you can see just inside there, it's shaped, and what that does is when you push this one in and turn and apply a bit of pressure like this, so what happens is it creates a lovely base, and then it just pops off and you have a newspaper seedling pot. So it's really nifty, kids absolutely love it as well. So let's do one of the larger ones. So again, newspaper with the larger ones, this is your larger tool. So it needs to be 10 centimetres along the width, and it needs to be 60 centimetres along in length. And it's the same process again. You've got your lines, so you use them as a guide. It needs to have an overhang for your base. Your edges don't need to be as sharp can be. If you're like me, you sometimes do it a little bit rough around the edges, but I'm not perfect. I'm certainly not a perfectionist. And then we push in again to create our base. And then you use the larger plate that it comes with, which again is the same shape as what was inside this one. And you just simply apply pressure. You've got to be quite firm with this, otherwise it'll just unfold. Give it a bit of a spin and it creates your bottom. And then out slides this part and you've got a pot ready to fill with your compost and your seedlings. Now what I did as well is I had a strip that was a little bit longer, so when I put this in I let it overhang, as you can see. I let the paper overhang and did it a little bit larger because I thought for some seedlings, like when you do runner beans, they're quite a tall leggy seedling, so in order to give them that space, extra space they need, I've made it a little bit bigger. There's nothing stopping you doing that. So you can use it and, you know, amend the sizes a little bit that way. There's a little bit of movement in there. Again, if you're doing your smaller ones, you can leave them a bit bigger and still have the width the same, but have a deeper height. So I'm not sure what else really there is to it. It's just really nifty. Obviously you can just roll paper up and try and do it that way, but I find this, it takes all that hassle out. It's dead simple. It's really nifty. Kids absolutely think it's fantastic. My 4-year-old, you know, he was well away. Mummy, can I roll that? So he does some of these smaller ones. We're going to take them into preschool. I'm going to let the little ones do a bit. It's going to be brilliant for them, teaching them about how things biodegrade, that it'll, you know, you don't always need to have plastic pots. And again, it's passing it on to future generations that there is other ways. One thing I have found difficult is sourcing newspaper. Move that now. I am wanting to use newspaper to do my layer with my no dig at the allotment, and I've really struggled to find used newspapers. The preschool donated me some this morning so I can make some seedling pots. But it just shows you that people are, you know, they're getting the newspapers online, which is brilliant for trees and things like that. So it's just another sign of how we've evolved into using technology, and how it is, you know, it is a good thing that it impacts on that. So if you think it's going to be cheaper financially, maybe not, because you might have to buy your own newspapers. But in terms of impact on the environment, obviously using this method is a lot better, and the impact on your seeds too. I love it. I love anything like this gadget-wise. If I hadn't bought it for myself, I'm sure I would have got one for upcoming Mother's Day, but I like to treat myself when I see something I like. When it comes to gardening, that is. I'm not superficial in any other way. I just love my gardening and been doing nifty things. I'm not sure what else there is to say really about that. Anyone else using paper plots this year? What methods do you like to use? Let me know. You know, comment. You know, leave those comments for me. It'll help me grow in terms of experience and things. Any handy hints that you've got that I might be able to take on board. Please subscribe, and we'll continue to explore new things. And thanks for listening. I'll maybe add on at the end of this some information about what seeds I'm doing and talk about that. Again, I'm not going up the plot today. It's too cold for my back. It makes it sore. And I've got my physio tomorrow, so I don't want to get into trouble for making it worse, because I've been a little bit naughty and done a little bit too much this week. I'm sure I'm going to get told off. So I'll catch you in a little while and show you what seeds I'm growing. Again, please leave your comments and feedback about what you're doing. I'm always happy to watch and learn about what other people are doing on their plots. I find it really, really interesting, especially where you are in the world. I'm up north in Scunthorpe and it's really cold, but I mean, if you're down south, it might be a little bit warmer today. Like I say, it was trying to snow first thing this morning, so we're going to see what's going to happen with the weather. All right then, bye for now. I'll catch you in a bit.